Well, hey folks, this is Mike Antile with Sailfish Solar and Martin County Solar. Today we're going to talk about different financing options for your solar system. Ultimately, a solar system is a serious purchase. It's never something that you should just rush into. So we hope some of this information is valuable to you today. In our experience, there are really two types of purchasers of solar. The first is somebody who actually wants to own the system outright as quickly as possible, achieve that payback period as quickly as possible, and then start realizing the returns that come from actually owning your solar system. The second type of customer for us is somebody who's really just out to save money on their power bill every month, somebody who understands that even a small monthly savings of, let's say, $40, $50 a month is something that grows every month and it grows every year as the utility rates go up, and of course as inflation goes up. And so we're here to kind of help you pick between those two different schools of thought when it comes to financing your solar system. We're also here to help you, look for some pointers and things to avoid kind of at all costs. For instance, salesmen that kind of push you on a payment like a car dealer would. And really, unless you've really determined up front whether the lower payment is your objective, that might not be something that's right for you. You also want to avoid salesmen who are looking to give you the cheapest price possible because, there's a lot of truth to the idea that you do get what you pay for. So let's go through some of these different finance options and see if we can find the one that's right for you. There are, of course, a ton of different options that are out there. We're going to talk through about 6 of them today. The first is cash, and the second is a home equity line of credit. We have financing through the actual solar companies, through our company and others. There are specialty programs out there such as SELF, the Solar Energy Loan Fund, the PACE program, Property Assessed Clean Energy. We'll talk about that in a few minutes, and of course the solar lease. So there are a bunch of different options that we can talk about. And hey, if you like this video, when you're done, please give us a like. We really appreciate that. All right, let's dig in. So the first option, of course, is cash. Cash is always king. That is the pro there. The pros are the lowest possible payback period, no fees, no interest, and no wait time. Cash does get things done and get you in a solar system quickly. The con, of course, to a cash purchase is you actually have to spend the cash. But it really should be viewed as an investment rather than an expenditure because this is an investment that will carry a double-digit annual rate of return, and it's something that's only going to grow, as the years go by. So the next option is what's called a HELOC, a home equity line of credit. Some of the pros here are very low origination fees that are typically done through your local banks with local relationships. And I would say these have average to low interest rates by and large. The cons, of course, it is tied to your home. This is something that has to be settled prior to the sale. The rates and the terms can be variable if you're not careful, so you might have to lock those in up front. So the next option is to finance directly through the solar company. Some of the pros here are these loans are tailored to the solar industry. We can also get very low interest rates, oftentimes in the 1%, 2% range. The terms can usually be longer. Typically the terms are tied to the useful life of a product. And so the useful life of a solar system is at least 25 years since that's what it's warranted for, and oftentimes much longer than that. So to get a 25-year or even a 30-year term is possible, when financing through the solar companies. Another big pro is, immediate approval right then and there and immediate funding. So it's something that you can get started with a project, without delay. The biggest con to financing through solar companies, candidly speaking, are the upfront fees, the origination fees. So, that's kind of one of the balances as we look for what type of finance mechanism we're going to use, is we always want to strike the balance between origination fees and overall interest rate. And, in the middle there is usually where you'll find the payment that you're looking for, or find, the payback that you're looking for. Another option for financing is a not-for-profit group called SELF. It stands for the Solar Energy Loan Fund. They're a unique program here in Florida. Some of the big pros there are they have very low origination fees, probably some of the lowest available to a solar purchaser. They have many unique borrower structures, and unique is programs for veterans, for women, for seniors, disabled, And then they also have just general unsecured loans and Kiva loans. So again, it's a fantastic organization. It's run by a nonprofit with a strong mission. I would say one of the cons for this is that they do have high to mid interest rates, or I should say mid to high interest rates, and their terms are typically going to be shorter than what we saw with the 25. They'll probably be in the 5 to 10 to 15 year range. The next option is called PACE. It stands for Property Assessed Clean Energy. One of the big pros for this is it actually does not affect your personal credit. They say to view it as a loan that's more tied to the value of the property than the value of your personal credit. Of course, you're responsible for the payments, but it is also possible in some cases that you can actually pass the assessment of the solar system on to the new homeowner. Another big advantage to PACE is it can be bundled with other types of home improvement, such as air conditioning, HVAC, windows and doors, and roofing. And of course, this is also available for kind of immediate approval and immediate funding. The big cons for PACE are, there is a lien position that's going to be placed on the property. You ultimately pay a PACE assessment back through a voluntary non-ad valorem line item on your property taxes. So that is going to require a lien position to take place on the property. And another drawback there is they also have fairly high origination fees, similar to what you see when you're financing through the solar company. The next option is a solar lease. If you find that you are one of the customers who really is just more interested in kind of that lower payment and leveling out the cost of electricity, and the payback isn't something, and actually owning the system isn't a big priority for you, then a solar lease might be a good option. You can lock in kind of these typically lower payments than you would if you're financing it. You can make them so they are level payments. You can select that option, and there is the option to have an annual increase as well. Another pro is this is transferable to the new homeowner. They can guarantee basically, we're partnered with a company called Sunrun, which can guarantee that the new homeowner takes over the payment of the solar system. You ultimately never own the solar system, you are just leasing it. And then the cons, you can't take full advantage of the 26% federal tax credit, although there is a certain discount that's implied when you do operate through a lease. And then you also have to make sure that you do understand that there is going to be a increase in the lease payment every year if you choose that option. And so it is possible that the increase in the lease payment could actually be higher than the increase in the utility rates, although we know the utility rates are going to go up, and the schedules are published for the foreseeable future that they'll continue to go up. But that is something that you should be aware of if a lease is something that you're considering. One last type of financing is for commercial solar installations. So these are your industrial, your commercial, and your business-owned solar installations. As a matter of fact, our parent company, Energy Finance Group, they do commercial finance, not residential finance, and they have provided more than $100 million to some of the largest solar installations in the United States. So they specialize in different types of commercial finance, commercial PACE, tax-exempt lease, tax equity PACE, conventional finance, equity lease, or excuse me, an equipment lease, and a new program called the Government Energy Mitigation Program. So if that's something you're interested in, any of those, please get in touch. So, hey, if you have any more interest and you'd like to learn a little bit more about how the financing would work for your specific situation, please give us a call or send us an email or visit us on the website anytime. We'd be happy to give you a free estimate. We can run some finance payments, some different options for you, and see what makes the most sense for you. And hey, if you like this video, please give it a like, and we've got some more good content coming. All right, we'll see you soon.